I'm Katie Fehrenbacher, and this is GigaOm TV, and today on Green Overdrive we're driving Zero Motorcycles electric motorcycle. Neil, tell us a little bit about how you founded the company.
Well, I founded the company in my garage. This is a real Silicon Valley garage story. I had a product development business where I'd developed a lot of mountain bikes, a lot of full suspension mountain bikes. I really pioneered that technology, and I always wanted to build a motorcycle. I've been a motorcycle enthusiast for all my life, and actually I had, it's interesting, I had kids about 9 years ago, and they couldn't ride the motorcycles because you know, it's too loud and noisy and dangerous, and the pipes were hot. Yeah, and it made the babies cry, and it just wasn't family friendly. Yeah. So I invented these electric motorcycles in part so I could have my family and the motorcycles.
So show us what we have here.
This is our frame, and we're really proud of this. This is our space-age frame made of very, very thin wall aluminum. It's about 3 times thicker than a Coca-Cola can, so you can hear it. It's very, very light and about half the weight of a conventional motorcycle frame, which lets you have lots of performance and lightweight and be ecologically conscious at the same time. This is a German-made permanent magnet electric vehicle motor, so it's very specialized, very efficient, and very light for an electric motor, even though if I handed this to you, it'd probably, you know, fall on your foot. It's pretty heavy, but for an electric vehicle motor, this is actually about half the weight of a conventional electric motor.
Tell us about the battery. Where'd you guys get that, and what kind of technology do you use?
Okay, this is our secret to our company here. This is the battery, and this is what I spent probably a year developing. Is this special kind of electric vehicle battery, because there just wasn't a good battery on the market that had lots of power and was lightweight and lasted a long time. So, and in the battery pack here is all of our electronics. We have 3 microprocessors on board. 1 microprocessor which monitors the battery cells. We have over 300 cells which all have to be monitored individually. So there's a full-time processor for that, and there's a microprocessor on the main bike board to control all the safety functions of the motorcycle. And then there's a 3rd microprocessor in the motor controller.
So we're going to test this bike right now. What are we going to be testing for?
Well, we're going to take the bike and run it through the entire speed range with a load on the tire. So we're going to gently ease the bike up to about 65 miles an hour, and just to see if there's any problems with the motor or battery. We're going to monitor all the electrical systems. It's just a quality control check to make sure everything's working okay.
And what do you find here? You find problems with the bike, or things that you need to tweak or change on it?
Yeah, if there's any kind of electrical issue, we run the bike up to top speed and just check the power, make sure everything's working okay, the chain isn't too noisy, or anything isn't making strange noises. We also test ride them on the street.
Show me how to ride this thing.
Okay. There's no clutch on this side, but you got your front brake over here, just like a traditional gas motorcycle, throttle over here. And you have a kill switch, which you can stop the bike at any time from there, and a main ignition key right there. And then on your right foot is the brake, the rear brake, and on your left foot there's nothing because there's no shifting. So
right, none of that awkward motorcycle upshift.
Yep, it's actually very easy. So for beginners, it's actually really easy to learn on.
Yeah.
There's not all that shifting to go on.
And this is just standard mileage speedometer?
Yeah. And I can turn it on here. You can see what goes on. So we turn the bike on, and it has a warm-up phase, so it just lets you know, it goes through the diagnostic. The speedometer goes up to maximum to let you know the range is working. You have your fuel gauge here, odometer, trip odometer, and it reads in both miles per hour and kilometers per hour.
Why is it blinking warning at me?
This is it's letting you know the systems are starting up and you're ready to go. You're ready to start your ride. One reason that electric motorcycles are going to be the first electric vehicle people are going to own is because you don't need a special anything. You can plug them in at work, on the road. They charge very, very quickly, and they're very, very small amount of electricity.